So I think what's great about this particular webinar subject today is we're going to have information for both parties, folks that are not using a PMIS today. And if you are using a PMIS today, I've got some additional information on maybe ways of organizing things or some specific configuration options that you may not be aware of if you're a fairly new PMIS user with us at least, or have been with us a couple of years. What I'm showing you right now is a view of collaborative financials. And so essentially, project management information systems help to kind of centralize and collaborate with external parties and internal parties. And so the way that we typically see things, at least in our project management information system, is it really starts either from a capital planning standpoint, which is in the government stance, or in the project budget creation. And so essentially, projects and their budgets can be established within a project, and the ways of populating that budget are varied. It could originate in the ERP system, an approved budget gets pushed over to a PMIS system, or it could be created through the Projectmates or the PMIS itself, and that data could be pushed once approved all the way over to the ERP system. So there's different ways of approaching that depending on organizational need and kind of the business requirements of the organization. Now, typically from the budget, a relationship can be established between the budgetary values within a PMIS and say elements like maybe bidding. So creating a bid package of the cost sheet items directly from the budget itself. And that information could be bid out to contractors, pre-qualified or contractors to bid on those projects. And those can actually be transitioned directly into commitments within the project management information system. There's other ways of approaching it backwards and forwards, and even bypassing the bidding process if the bidding tools are not going to be acceptable for the organization, probably because of requirements or procurement rules, et cetera. And those contracts or commitments, we're talking about purchase orders and contracts, could be awarded to users. Now, users are those collaborative users like contractors, architects, engineers, and vendors. And they're going to be collaborating in the project. And I mean collaborating. I mean uploading documents, uploading construction drawings, downloading the construction set, participating in RFIs and submittals, answering and routing bid RFIs. So all those people are doing things within the tool, including interacting with their commitments. So as RFIs are generated through the PMIS, those can be linked to potential change orders and submitted to the organization for workflow. Those can be managed through the project management system, including approvals, revise and resubmits, the whole back and forth during this construction program across multiple commitments across the same project and across the entire program. As change orders come in from those contractors and vendors, instead of submitting them through email or through other sources, they're all centralizing this data, pushing it in together from their interactions with their PMIS and into a central source of truth that can be managed within that. And then as those invoices and pay applications actually get generated by those parties, they can go through an approval process, review and approval, as well as approval processes that could push their way over into an ERP system for accounting or for integrations. And then finally, rolling all that data up to the reporting side. Now keep in mind, the reason this is a circle is because the project budget is where you start, but all the data that's flowing through the system itself pushes right back to that project budget. And what's the value in that? Before a system, maybe if you're managing through email or Excel or other systems, it's really hard to get visibility into the current project spend. And there's different ways of establishing a budget and reviewing those costs, but having a place where you can see what's your current spend versus what you think is coming down the pipe really helps you to manage by exception. Concentrate on the projects that have significant risks to them and not spend time digging through information looking for things from an efficiency standpoint. Now, what I'd like to do is show you within a tool kind of what are some of the key functions within that. Then I'm going to show you different structures of budgets, about how you could structure your budget different ways and how you could populate the budget different ways. And then when you're recording your costs, there's different ways to do that as well. We're also going to talk about some specific use cases around multiple budgets within a project. also cost codes and how those are used. We're also going to talk about common reporting structure. So we've got a lot of meat here to show you for both new folks that are looking into a project management information or established folks that have been customers of ours for a very long time.